my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. This week we are doing an extreme pantry organization. We don't have a big proper pantry closet, but we do have this tall cabinet that we use for our pantry, and it is a complete disaster. This is a space that has never been organized since we moved into this house in July of 2021, and it shows. I'm going to take you all step by step with me as we completely transform this small pantry and share all my tips for a more functional space along the way. If you enjoy cleaning and organizing videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and let's get into it. For this organization project, Ello has so kindly sponsored this video, and these beautiful pantry containers are truly the star of the show today. We are going to unbox and wash these canisters and get them ready to use. These airtight pantry canisters were perfect for my small space. I don't want to spoil too much for the rest of the video, but the key for me with these canisters is their non-slip design. The protective non-slip silicone base keeps the canisters in place for carefree stacking. I was able to utilize so much vertical space in my pantry simply because these canisters stack on top of each other, and I don't have to worry that they're going to slip and slide around and fall off. They stay in place perfectly. I also love their airtight lids. These are no joke. You can actually feel how tight the seal is as you're putting the lids on, and this will help your foods to stay fresh so much longer. These are perfect for anything from baking essentials like sugar and flour, to snacks like pretzels and cookies, to other staples like rice and pasta. They come in so many different sizes, and as an added bonus, they're beautiful to look at with their bright colors. Another thing I appreciate about these canisters is that they come with already made labels, and if you can't find the label you're needing, they also come with blank ones too, so that you can simply write out what's going inside of it and it still matches the other labels. You can totally skip the step of making labels yourself and keep the organization process super simple and fast. I always love to start off the new year decluttering and organizing. My pantry clearly needed it, and this transformation just would not have been possible without these canisters from Ello. You will see them in action throughout this video, and of course, the major difference they made in my final reveal. I will have a link in my description box below where you can shop the Ello Airtight Pantry Perfection canisters, and I just want to say a big thank you to Ello for sponsoring this video. When you are washing canisters like this, you want to be really careful that you don't get water inside of the seals of the lids. So I did wash the seals of the lids, but I did it very, very carefully just to be sure that water didn't get trapped under there, because that could be a disaster for what you're trying to store in the container. If you are wondering, I am 38 weeks pregnant as I was filming this video and doing the voiceovers. So this was actually my last video that I had planned to film before baby. So if you do not already follow me over on Instagram, then definitely make sure that you go do that, because whenever he is born, which he is not here yet as of right now when I'm doing these voiceovers, that is where you are going to see him first.
But all the fun times we had, I'll never forget we will always share a bond no matter what.
I had a couple of other containers that I pulled out from my basement, and I wasn't sure if I was going to use them or not, but I did want to use them just to actually take the food from my pantry to my table to make it a little bit easier for myself in the organization process. So I'm washing those out as well, just because they've been sitting in my basement for a while.
For the last time, stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay if you stay. No, you're gone in the morning.
Once all of my canisters were clean, I did go ahead and dry them because I wanted to be able to use them right away, and I'm super impatient. Now we're going to work on taking everything out of the pantry so we can sort it, categorize it, and get rid of any expired foods or foods I know at this point we are just never going to eat. This pantry was so out of control that it was impossible to see what was in the back of each shelf, so there was plenty of forgotten about or expired food that was just taking up space.
I got this picture in my closet. It's gathering dust right now, and the edges have been folded once or twice. It doesn't look the same no more.
What was really funny about getting this pantry space completely emptied is that I realized I had an outlet in there that I never knew I had. That's how bad things were, that I didn't even know there was an electrical outlet inside of the pantry. But now we are going to wipe out all of the shelves and just get them nice and clean. You definitely don't want to put everything back into a dirty space. While it's empty, you might as well go ahead and clean.
And if I close my eyes, I can almost hear your song. A picture of you. A picture of you. And I remember every day that I spent with you. The look you had.
I have very limited counter space in my kitchen, so I felt like it was a lot easier for me to sort everything and categorize it on my dining room table, where I could really see everything in front of me and I wouldn't have anything else in my way like I do on my kitchen counters.
From that time is a picture of you. I could talk to you for hours, and we stay up all night. And when morning came, we make breakfast in bed. I don't know why I threw away what we had. What's wrong with me? I don't know why I threw it all away.
A pantry does not need to be picture perfect in order to function. Organization is personal, and you should always organize in the way that works best for you. I have not had an organized pantry in 6 or 7 months, honestly, maybe longer, and this was much needed. I was surprised that I didn't end up having more food waste than I actually ended up having, but keeping things organized in your pantry will definitely help to reduce that. When you can actually see what you have, it makes planning for grocery trips easier and keeps you from buying things that you may already have that maybe were just buried in the mess of it all.
face when I said goodbye. Did you ever stop?
Had an apple because I was starving, but this is where we're at. So I've got everything organized pretty much by category just to make it a little bit easier for me. So I have teas right here. I need to actually check and see if any of those are expired because they might be. These are actually a bunch of rejects from Stonewall Kitchen. So we know somebody that works for Stonewall Kitchen, and these were rejected because the labels were printed incorrectly. So we were gifted all of these. The labels were just either printed slightly incorrectly or placed on wrong. So nothing wrong with the food inside of them. They're just labeled poorly. So that was fun to get all of those, and it's nice to like try some different things that I've never tried before. Here we have nuts, balsamic vinegar. I don't really know what to categorize that as. A ton of rices right here, and then crackers. Over here is pretty much just all snacks, and then that is granola. We have like pastas and sauces right here, pastaroni. I love this angel hair pasta with herbs. It's like one of my guilty pleasures is this pastaroni. And then we also have a bunch of macaronis, and then we have some cake mix. These are iron supplement cookies that I was trying, and honestly I'm not a big fan of them, so I might see on my local Facebook group if any expecting moms that are iron deficient like I am want to take these from me. And then we've got breakfast, so pancake and waffle mix, 2 different types of syrup. We do not refrigerate our maple syrups. I know there's like kind of a big debate over that, but we don't, and we go through it pretty quickly, and I've never had like mold or anything. And then we just have a ton of oats. So I'm going to figure out what I want to store in my new containers, and this is like the most exciting part for me because it's so satisfying to fill up these containers.
I did end up using a couple of those containers that I had already had just sitting in my basement, and I really only used them just to keep things together. So like I had a bunch of individual rice bags that I wanted to keep together, so I just put all of those in one container, and then I did end up using a couple of them to also transport food back over to my pantry, and I wasn't necessarily leaving the food inside of them.
You said he was nothing, but I know you get buried in the sorrow of us.
I found these clips of me filling up all of my containers to be oddly satisfying. I don't know why, so you guys will have to let me know in the comments below if you also find clips like this to be a little bit satisfying to watch.
Nothing, babe, when did it all go too far? We don't listen when we talk. We fight fire with fire. It's like we don't know how to talk.
Like I mentioned earlier, I did not have as much food waste as I thought I was going to, but just getting rid of all this bulk packaging and getting everything into these containers made such a huge difference in how much I was able to actually fit into my pantry. So instead of having 2 containers full of peanuts, I was able to consolidate all of them into one container, and then instead of having 2 to 4 bags of granola, I was able to consolidate them into containers, eliminating the big bag of pretzels. And then also I had a box of bunny grams, and that box is huge, but there's not that many bunny grams actually in the box, so it fit into a much smaller canister, and it just makes so much more sense, and everything fits way better into my pantry than it did before.
How did we end up here? We used to laugh so hard. When did we stop loving, babe? When did it all go too far? We don't listen when we talk. We fight fire with fire. It's like we don't know how to talk without the phrase
Something that I like to do sometimes is save the instructions that come on the packaging. So for example, the pancake and waffle mix that I had, I wanted to make sure I kept the recipes that were on either side of that bag. So I actually cut those recipes off the sides of that bag and placed them in a Ziploc bag and stuck them inside of the canister.
Ask me to leave, 'cause I wanna stay. We don't listen when we talk. We fight fire with fire. It's like we don't know how to talk without the flames getting higher. You hear when I mean, yeah, nothing else.
I just could not get over how pretty and colorful all of these canisters looked, all filled up, so I wanted to make sure I included a clip of that before I go ahead and start to label them. Like I mentioned earlier, the Elo canisters actually do come with labels that are already made for you, so it was really quick and easy for me to label all of these canisters, and then I did just have a couple that I wrote out myself because they did not come with those labels specifically.
I've seen those faces, I've heard all the lies, but you ain't gazing on someone in denial. 'Cause you want dollar bills right now, but you gotta work real hard. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said,
so now for the fun part, we are going to put everything back into the pantry and get it all put back together, and I will show you guys the before and after because it's crazy. But the key here for me was just making sure that everything was categorized and sorted, so when I was putting it back into the pantry, it actually made sense. I tried to keep everything that we use on a more regular basis up on the top shelf, and then the second shelf down was mostly the canisters from Elo. The third shelf was for all of Carson's snacks. He knows that he has a snack shelf, so that shelf just pretty much always has belonged to him. And then on the bottom was anything that we don't use quite as often because it can be a little bit tricky to get down there to get things out.
And I said,
Here is a quick overview of how bad our pantry was before. It was truly a complete disaster. It was not functional at all, and you could honestly hardly even see what was in there. And here is after. It is such a major improvement. This is not picture perfect, but it is pretty close to it with the space that I was given to work with, and we have been so happy that this project was done, and especially before baby comes and things get a lot more complicated in our lives, at least our pantry is not a total disaster anymore. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you some motivation and some inspiration to maybe tackle a disorganized space in your home. If you enjoy small space organization videos, then definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel because I have a ton more of these planned for 2022. Once again, I want to say thank you to Ello for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to click the link in my description box below so you can shop Ello products for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.